Hi, this is Pratik. In this session, we will talk about contract approvals. Well, I'm going to focus on contract approvals, but this process can be applied on various other transactions. It can be voucher creation and so on and so forth. Okay, let's focus on the process of approval setup and the whole flow of approval, right? So what I have done here is there is a user, okay, who's iRely admin, and I'm telling I21 application that if this person was to create a contract, he needs an approval. And who's the approver? Approver is not a person in this case, it's a series. So how do we set up the series? This contract, I'll just show that to you. So what I have done here is I'm saying that in case iRely admin creates a contract, he needs his contract to be approved by two people. So it will be first approved by Pratik and then it will be approved by Stephanie. Okay, so we can set up the hierarchy here. You could also choose to have an approval group. So just in case there are many people who are responsible, you can create an approval group. Well, group has its own advantages because let's just say Pratik is taking some time off. He's on a vacation, right? So who's going to approve on his behalf? Well, if it was a group, if Pratik is not getting the message because he's away from his laptop, others in the group will get the message, right? And they can approve. So that's the advantage of having a group over a single, but of course it's going to work in exactly the same way, right? So as you can see, each row is acting like a hierarchy. So Pratik gets to approve first, and only when Pratik approves, it goes to Stephanie. So that's the setup or the hierarchy which is available, and this has been assigned to iRely admin. Now when iRely admin creates a contract, it will go to Pratik for his approval, and once Pratik approves, it will go to Stephanie, and once Stephanie approves, the contract will be fully approved. Okay, so let's just see how the process works. What I'm going to do is I'm logged in as iRely admin at this point of time. I'm going to create a new contract. Well, to save time, I'm going to use a very interesting feature of duplicating the contract, right? Now, just by a click of a button, the contract has been duplicated. It saves a lot of time. I just click on save. Well, this is something what I was waiting for. Because I have set up the approval for Mr. Admin, I21 won't let him proceed. It says that you have to give it for approval, right? So he can say yes, no, but sooner than later he will have to send it for approval. So I click on yes, and when I click on yes, Pratik, as you can see, receives a message saying that he has to approve a transaction. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll click on my notifications, and it says that there are a few transactions which are waiting for my approval. I'll click on that. Well, there are a few things I can do at this point of time. I can choose to open the contract, right? And have a look at it and approve it. Or what I can do is I can select the contract and click on print preview, which gives me the contract print, right? What are the various properties and parameters of the contract? I want to just see it before I approve it. So I can click on print preview. It gives me the contract print. I can have a quick look at it and I can say I'm approving it. I'll click on save. Now, because I have approved, Stephanie gets a message. So as you can see, this whole thing is pretty smooth and efficient. It works like clockwork, right? So there's zero lag time. Now Stephanie gets a message. She can do the same thing. She can have a preview, or in this case, I'm going to just click on approve and save. Now, Mr. Admin, who created the contract, gets notified that his transaction has been approved. And what I can do is, me currently being iRely admin, I can click on approved transaction, rather approved transactions, right? I'll go to approved transactions, and I'll have the list of all the things which got approved, including my contract which got approved today, and I can proceed with my work, or I can take a print, send it to my counterparty. So that's how contract approval works in I-21. Pretty smooth, easy process. You have to set up an approval hierarchy. It can be a single person or it can be a group of people. Okay. Once that is set up, you assign that hierarchy to an individual, and when that individual creates a contract, the approval process is triggered, right? So in this case, as I showed you, the first approver was Pratik. He got a message. He can have a quick look at the contract specs by clicking on the print preview, and once he approves, the message goes to Stephanie, and Stephanie gets to approve or reject. If Stephanie would have rejected, let's just say Stephanie would have rejected the contract, right? So iRely admin gets a message that the transaction has been rejected. The good part there is when Stephanie gets to reject the contract, there is there is an area for Stephanie to write why she's rejecting the contract, because if she just rejects without a message, it won't be of any value to iRely admin. So that's how the approvals work in I-21. Thank you.